OK, so interesting question. Can you ever like your mental illness? Alistair?
I have depression. I don't like my mental illness, but I had a psychotic breakdown in the 80s, and I do like that because I now look back on it as the best thing that ever happened to me, because I sorted myself out, I worked out what I really wanted to do.
A lot of hands went up immediately. Yes, lady at the back here.
What I really want to say is that you can love your mental illness. I've had mental health for 7 years now, and I personally think I get up every day, and yeah, it's hard, but I'm going to walk with pride, and I'm going to walk like I don't care, because you have to do that. You've got to be brave some days, even though it's going to be really hard.
Yeah, lady here.
I've had mental health illness for over 8 years now, and it's destroyed my life. I don't know what the future holds for me. I've had a best friend who's ended her life. So for me, I don't love it. I'm not ashamed of it, but as a person, no. I wouldn't wish it on my worst enemy. So.
Yeah, gentleman behind you again.
I think it really depends on where you are at your life. That it depends your perspective of if you look back on it. I look back on it now, and it really built my character. I have a lot to go on now, and I went through a lot of stuff, and as everyone probably here has. And I can look back and think I'm the person who I am now, and I've gone through so much, and I'm a much better person.
So like Alistair was saying, there's something there's constructive element to
so
it.
I can say now that I'm happy that it happened, looking back on it, but at the time, it's the worst thing that can happen.
Sure. Zoe, what's your experience of it?
Yeah, I mean, I can obviously only draw from what happened to me. I developed anorexia quite late on in life, age 22. And some days it was my worst enemy, and other days my anorexia became my best friend, and it was the only thing that I had, because I became very isolated, and I was being, it wasn't their fault, but I was being excluded by friendship groups. I wasn't working, so I clung on to my mental illness, and we had this weird relationship where some days it had control of me, other days, I had control of it, and it lasted for 4 or 5 years, and I still struggle with it now, but I think the balance is better. So yeah, I had this really strange relationship where I couldn't, did I love it, did I hate it? It's a strange one.
Yeah. Lady here?
I don't like my mental illness, considering it takes up a lot of my life and it affects everything I do. However, a part of me is still a bit scared to let go of it, because I'm scared that if I don't have it, I won't be protective of my family, because my illness involves me being very protective and making sure no one gets hurt. But then again, I would like to be rid of it, because I don't want it to ruin my future.
Sure. Yeah, gentleman at the back here with the glasses.
I think I agree with what Zoe said, that I have an eating disorder as well, and the feeling of control that you can get from having an eating disorder and other mental illnesses as well. You might hate the mental illness and some things it does to you, but it's just very easy to forget that when everything takes over and love your mental illness more than anything else.
Yeah, lady here? They can't make their mind up. One of them has.
For many years, I suffered with low mood, depression, anxiety, and it kind of came out in a really negative way towards people. So a lot of the time it was kind of put down to, oh, she's just in a bad mood. But I would say I spent about 90% of the time being really low. And I went through a spout about 2 years ago where I was kind of like in a really deep depression and really suicidal. And I did manage to kind of come out of it, but I think having gone through that, it's changed me immensely as a person, and I'm happy I went through it. Although at the time it was probably one of the worst things that's ever happened to me, I think someone said something about...
similar to what the guy up here said, looking
kind of
back.
built my character, and it's almost given me the motivation to kind of want to go on and help other people that have been in similar positions or are going through similar things.
Yeah, lady down here in the front.
The one thing I love about my mental illness is that I can help other people through it. I can actually build upon it and show other people that you can get through it, and it is all right.
Yeah, I mean... yeah.